Good evening, those of you who are checking it out. Hold on one second. Yeah, so you just have to mute it and turn your volume down. So we're gonna leave it. Okay, good. Okay, we're gonna get started in about 10 minutes or so. If you are just joining us, please put your full name, your first and your last name, as well as your student ID number into the chat, and that's how we're going to check you in as having attended today's commencement orientation. So if you can do that, we have a whole group of people here who are working behind the scenes, who are working to get all of you checked in. Go ahead and get checked in, and I'll be back shortly to welcome everybody else. But go ahead if you're just joining us and put your full name, first and last name into the chat, as well as your student ID number, your 7-digit student ID number, please. Hi again, all of you who have just joined us. We are going to get started in about 5 minutes. We're in the process of checking people in. So if you're just joining us, please put your full name, first and last name, as well as your 7-digit ID number into the chat. And we have folks here that are getting everybody signed in. So just go ahead and put that information in the chat and we'll get started shortly. Hi, everybody. For those of you just joining us, I think you've gotten the notes in the chat. Please go ahead and put your full name along with your 7-digit ID number into the chat. We're checking people in. We're going to wait just 2 more minutes because we still have a bunch of people logging in. So we're just going to wait just 2 more minutes and then we'll get started. We probably won't take up the whole hour, but if you have questions or anything at the end, we'll definitely field those as well. I do ask that you hold your questions until the end, so because most of your questions should be answered as part of the presentation. So we're going to get started in just a couple minutes. Thanks for your patience. Okay, everyone. We're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. This is our one and only virtual orientation session that we're hosting this year, so we're glad that you could join us. If you have any questions, please hold them till the end. You can put them in the chat, but right now we're using the chat for everybody to put their full name first, full first name and full last name, along with your 7-digit ID number, your Lone Star College student ID number, please. Okay, so while I have here with me Arcelia Macedo, Lavelia Martin, Katie Truax, and Stephanie Smith. They're all part of our commencement committee, and they've taken time out of their very busy schedules and time with their family to be here to help out. So I just want to thank them publicly and say, woohoo! I'm going to go ahead and hit record because we're going to record this and we're going to post this on our web page so that you guys can come back to it as well. In addition, we are going to post the PowerPoint presentation as well as the video of this presentation to our website, the UP Commencement website, so you guys can refer back to it if you need to. Okay? All right. So just to begin, our ceremony, as you all know, is going to be held on Friday, May 12th at 9 a.m. We are hosting this year's commencement ceremony at the Berry Center. This will be our 2nd year at that venue, and that's located over by the Lone Star College Sci-Fair campus right off of Barker Cypress. We will have information on the website. There actually is information already on there about bag policies, and there is a link to the Berry Center with maps and that sort of thing too, but we will give that information to you in this presentation. So for those of you, if any of you have not RSVP'd yet for the commencement ceremony, we ask that you do that at the UP Commencement website. There is a QR code right here, so if you want, you can click on that on your phones right now. That'll take you to the RSVP form. We do need to know that you're going to be in attendance at the ceremony so that we can check you in and know how many people we're going to have there. So if you haven't done this yet, please do so. Most of you, I think, already have, but just in case you haven't, please do that now. In addition, we're going to be playing a slideshow as well as have a social media feed from behind the scenes in the arena so that when guests and your family and friends are showing up, this will be playing. on the big screen in the arena. So if you have a photo or a video or a little message that you want to include in that slideshow, please use this QR code to upload anything that you would like to include on that. Can you guys all hear me okay? I know I just got a message. Okay, there we go. Just making sure. If you can't hear me for any reason, just put it in the chat and we'll get it fixed. The Berry Center is a K-12 venue, so they have very strict guidelines with regards to policies and procedures. Although we are a public institution and we allow concealed handgun carry, they do not. So you'll see on the screen here are the prohibited items that you can bring, as well as the bag policy. So prohibited items, you can see here, no weapons. That includes any knives, pocket knives, Swiss Army knives, Leathermans, anything like that. In addition, they do have information. They do, oh, you guys hear me now? Maybe you need to sit, do I need to sit closer? Show them that I'm going. Okay. The prohibited items include no outside food or drink. Also, please note that you can't bring any signs or banners, no loud noise, horns, or noise makers, balloons, presents, flowers, and strollers. So please let your family members know this goes for them as well. These items will not be allowed into the Berry Center. They'll have to leave them in their car if they do bring them. If they do want to bring you flowers and presents and balloons, we encourage them to do that. They can just get those to you outside of the Berry Center after the ceremony is done. Just a really quick note for those of you who have joined us since we started, please put your full name and your student ID number in the chat and we'll get you checked in. As for the clear bag policy, any bags have to be clear that you bring in. I'm going to talk a little bit about this a little bit more in the future of this presentation. If you want to bring in a small clutch or a fanny pack or anything like that, that does not need to be cleared, and it needs to meet the measurements described in that bottom picture there, the 6 by 9 by 5. So just acknowledge that, be aware of that. If you bring in anything that is not allowed, they will tell you to put it in your car. Graduates are expected to arrive by 7:30 a.m. The commencement ceremony does start at 9, but we'll start lining students up probably between 8:15 and 8:20. When you get to the Berry Center, you're going to enter over here in Lot C, and you're going to enter into the Conference Center entrance on the back side. For those of you who are not familiar, if you come southbound on Barker Cypress or northbound, you're going to want to enter at that main entrance on Barker Cypress with the big sign. You'll come around the side. We'll have flags outside. We'll have people greeting, and you'll know we're there. So don't worry about finding us. We'll make sure that we make the entrance very noticeable. I will tell you, again, no loud noisemakers or air horns are permitted. Again, bring only the necessities, and we're going to talk a little bit about that too. Now, although you're allowed to arrive, you're expected to arrive at 7:30, your guests will not be allowed to enter the arena until 8 o'clock. So the doors will open for guests and family members and friends at 8 a.m. They'll actually park in Lot B, which is right here. My mouse was lost, there it is. Lot B right here. Lot A will be overflow. So your guests will probably all be able to park in Lot B. We're not expecting a huge overflow, so we should be good there. They're going to enter the arena through entrance 2. So they're going to come in this side, whereas you're coming in from the side. So that you know, everyone who is attending must have a ticket. That means that anybody coming in, even if they are a 2-month-old baby, they have to have a ticket. It doesn't matter if they're sitting on a lap or anything, they're just using that for tracking purposes. So when you reserve tickets, please make sure if you have a family of 5 and 2 of those are lap children, that you're still getting tickets for those 2 lap children. And please let your family members know about those restrictions as well. Flowers, balloons, strollers, large packages, air horns, that kind of thing are not allowed. I'm going to talk about the tickets in a second, so I'm getting there. So don't worry about that. We're gonna cover everything, all of your questions. So just hold your questions until the end. We'll get through, and that might answer your questions. Okay. We do have special accommodations at the Berry Center. So if you have family members or guests, or you have a special accommodation that you need to let us know about, please let us know on that RSVP form. Also, in the ticketing system, when you go into that, there is a link there for special accommodations as well. So you can fill that out and let us know exactly what accommodations are needed. If you have anybody, or you are in a wheelchair or have mobility issues, a hearing disability, a sight disability, we do have folks there that will be able to assist you. We will have sign language and interpreters throughout the entire ceremony for the hearing impaired, and they will be projected on the large screen, but they will also be on the stage. Guests who need wheelchair access, we encourage them to arrive early so that they can get in and seated with plenty of time to spare, and we will have staff on hand to help them with that. When you arrive, we will have staff and students there to check you in. They'll let you know where to go, what to do. Each of you will get a card like this. I don't know if you can see this. Right now, Miss Stephanie is filling out a card with your name and your student ID on it. When you get to the check-in that morning, they're going to ask you to fill out the rest of your card with your permanent email address, which is your personal email address, not your lonestar.edu email address, as well as your address and your cell phone number. This is for pictures. So this is really important. If you want to get a photo of yourself, this card needs to be filled out. On the back of that card, we'll also ask you to spell out your name phonetically. That means spell it out how it sounds. So if your name is Sarah, you would spell it out Sarah, and put that in letters so that we can read that when they go up on stage. This card is super, super important. You will get this card when you check in that morning, and you must keep it with you until you go up to the stage to get your diploma. I'm going to hand this to the speaker. They're going to read your name from this card, and you're going to cross the stage, get your photo taken, and get your diploma. I said before, we're going to start lining everyone up at about 8 or 8:15. Caps and gowns are currently available for purchase in the bookstore. I don't think that they're available for purchase online anymore. We do expect that everyone wears a cap and gown. The cost of the cap and gown set is $44, including the tassel, the cap, and the gown. That is available here in the UP bookstore, and we will actually be open late this coming Thursday. If anybody wants to stop by and pick that up, and you can stop and pick it up. They're also available at any other Lone Star campus as well. Also, graduation announcements are available to purchase if you'd like. Those are available online, and they cost about $32 for 10. With regards to the regalia, with the gowns, we tell students not to deface them, don't alter them, don't cut the sleeves off, don't make them a belly shirt, nothing like that. We want to make sure that they all look exactly as they came out of the package. I do encourage you to take it out of the package a couple of days before so that it doesn't have all the wrinkles from being in the package. You may want to steam it or dry it or iron it before you go on stage to get all those wrinkles out. You are allowed to add honor cords, stoles, medallions, or any other type of honor regalia that goes along with your cap and gown. Some of these add-ons are listed here. So if you're a member of the PTK, if you are an honors college student, if you are a dual credit student, if you are a member of SGA, if you're a veteran, or any other registered student organization, you can wear those stoles or the cords. Last year, we had several students who wanted to purchase first generation stoles or cultural value stoles. That is totally fine if you want to wear those. Basically, you can put anything that is honoring your heritage, your culture, your generational status, any program or special program that you're in, you're allowed to do that. The only thing we ask is that Nothing is vulgar, obscene, or includes hate speech or anything like that. And we'll check those as we go through. We also allow students to decorate their caps. We of course want that to remain clean. So here is a list of things that are appropriate and things that are inappropriate. So really most anything is pretty good to include on your cap. We had students last year that wanted to put the logo of the university that they were planning to transfer to. Students had their graduation year, their degree, their program. If they were veterans or an active military member, they had that on there. Artwork for any students that are artistic, the country flag, the career designation, your family name. You can do a shout out to your family. Anything like that is pretty good. Basically, all we want to avoid is anything that is inappropriate that includes obscene, profane, or vulgar language. We also don't want anything to instill violence or have any affiliation with gangs, drug use, or illegal activity or sexual assault. The last thing I will say that isn't really along that line, but when you're decorating your cap, you want to make sure that it stays flat on the top of your cap. Inevitably, people will build something up. One year, at one place, they had a Lego city built on their cap. I don't know how they kept that on, but it blocked the people behind them. So you want to make sure that no 3D images or anything like that on your cap. And here are a couple of examples of ones that we've used or have seen in the past, some from other areas and that sort of thing. So you can see that these are appropriate, these are not. You'll see that these two down here are not vulgar in any way, but you'll see that this one has a cup that sits up a little high on the cap and could create a visual impairment. And this one, it's pretty flat, but there's also lights on it, and it creates a bit of a fire hazard if there's anything that short circuits. So we encourage you not to do anything like that. Last year we had some really, really great ones, so I look forward to seeing what you guys come up with this year. Under your cap and gown, we do expect you to wear clothes. So we want you to dress in business casual attire. You're encouraged to wear slacks or skirts, dresses, collared shirts and ties, and appropriate footwear. We encourage you not to wear flip-flops or backless shoes, primarily because you'll be walking up a ramp and down a ramp. And in the past, we've seen people slide out of anything that doesn't have a back on it. Sneakers we don't like to see, and we don't like to see jeans or shorts. This is a special occasion where we're honoring people and we want you guys to look your best. I will caution anyone who is wearing high heels. If you are wearing high heels, please make sure that it's a pair of high heels that you feel comfortable walking in and that don't hurt your feet. You will be on your feet for a little while. You will be walking a bit of a distance, and you will be going up and down the stage. So if you buy new shoes, break them in. I'm sure some of you have seen the TikTok videos with, students tumbling down the bleachers or falling down the football field. We don't want that to happen. So please be aware of your footwear and make a good choice. Okay, as for seating, you guys, once you check in, you will go into the student staging area and you will be assigned a seat. You won't be assigned it based on like just that seat, but you'll be assigned based on alphabet. So we'll have some signs in the staging area with the letters of the alphabet. We ask that you guys just try and get as close to alphabetized as you can. So if your last name starts with A, you would sit in the A section. Your last name starts with Z, don't sit in the M section, sit in the Z section. We'll have folks in there helping to alphabetize you. It doesn't need to be 100% perfect, but we would like all the A's to be followed by the B's and then the C's and then the D's. We don't want the D's to come before the M's to come before the D's. So we'll help you get situated. Each graduate will have 8 tickets. So when you log in, the ticketing system went live this morning. You can log in, you'll need your student ID number as well as your birth date. You can log in and you will be allowed to reserve up to 8 tickets. That includes, again, any small children. If you are wanting them to come in, they have to have a ticket to get in for admission. And that ticketing, like I said, that ticketing system opened today. It's available on the UP Commencement website. If you have 1 or 2 or 3 extra tickets that you need, please email us at the UP Commencement email address. We'll need your name, your student ID number, and the number of extra tickets that you need. If you need 25 extra tickets, that's probably not going to happen. But if you need 2 or 3 more, we can probably accommodate that. We will have an overflow section the day of the ceremony. So if folks arrive that you didn't expect, they want to surprise you or something like that, we will have some overflow seating. It just probably won't be with the rest of your family. But please let us know if you do need some extra tickets. We'll try and accommodate those to the best of our ability. Balloons and noisemakers are not allowed, as I mentioned several times. When you do get into the arena, we ask that you turn off your cell phones. You can mute them. We're not going to take them away from you. We want you to have your cell phones on you to take pictures and that sort of thing. But we do ask that you keep talking and moving around during the ceremony to a bare minimum. We ask that before you line up to go out into the arena, that you use the restroom so that you don't have to get up in the middle of the ceremony to walk out and use the facilities. You want to limit the number of items that you bring with you, because anything you bring with you, you have to walk into the ceremony with. When we walk out of the staging area, the Berry Center is going to come into that staging area and they're going to completely dismantle it. So Jack Zamora is going to be the last student out of that room. And as soon as Jack walks out, the Berry Center staff is going to come in and they're going to start breaking everything down because they have prom that night. So you will not be permitted to leave any bags or personal items behind. So I encourage you, if you want to walk and you need something, you can use a crossbody bag, a fanny pack, something small that you can fit under your robe, but we will not allow you to walk with backpacks, briefcases, or purses or anything like that. It will need to be something that it fits under your robe. If you do bring any personal items in, we will ask that you leave them in your car before the ceremony starts. And then the last thing is that this is a celebration. We want you to be respectful of one another. This is a big day for all of you. We want you to celebrate each other. And most importantly, we want you to have fun and encourage each other as you move on to your next step. As I mentioned before, you're going to fill out this photography card. Flash Photography has done our photography for the past many years. If you fill out that card, they will have all of your information. What will happen is when you go up on stage, we will have a photographer that snaps your picture as you get your diploma cover from Dr. Keshwala. And then you will come down off of the stage and there'll be another station for you to get a picture of just you holding your diploma. We purchased the digital version of that for each student. So you will have a free digital download of one of your pictures for that day. If you opt to purchase the package through Flash Photography, that is completely up to you, but know that we will actually purchase the one digital photo for each of the students. If you have any questions, you can feel free to email us at the UP Commencement email address, or you can go to the Flash Photography website for more information. Lastly, we do encourage guests and family members to take pictures of you while you're graduating and getting your diploma. We just ask that they not block aisles or stand in front of other people who might be trying to get pictures of their graduates as well. So we want everyone to be respectful of one another's space, and everybody wants to get pictures of their graduates. If you have members of your family or friends or guests from out of state, or if you needed those extra 25 tickets that we just don't have available, we will be live streaming the event. You can go to the lonestar.edu/UP Commencement website, and we will have the link to the live stream there. It will actually be through the Berry Center website, but it will send you directly to the link so that anybody can log in and watch the live stream of the commencement. In addition, we will be recording the commencement, so that video of the commencement will be posted to the website within a couple of weeks, probably 2 weeks of the commencement ceremony. So you can always go back and watch the entire ceremony all over again because it's so exciting. But you can also fast forward and just see you getting your diploma as well. So the most important thing is that you're actually graduating. This is a wonderful ceremony, but the big thing is that you are finishing a degree and you are graduating with a diploma, either for a degree or a certificate. I will, please hear me now. Participation in the ceremony does not guarantee that you graduate. It is really important that everyone knows that you can walk across the stage and not be able to graduate. It is your responsibility to complete the degree requirements that are outlined in your degree plan. And if you, for whatever reason, do not complete those degree requirements, you will not get your diploma. It is your responsibility to submit an application for graduation and ensure that all of the requirements for your degree or your certificate are complete. If you have any questions, I encourage you to contact our graduation advisor, Leah Stoddard, in our advising office, and she can double check and make sure that you're all set to graduate. It's also your responsibility to ensure that there are no holds on your account. So if you owe 5 cents to the library for a copy that you made, they're going to hold and not mail out your diploma. So make sure that you get those holds taken off of your account before you graduate. When you cross the stage, you are going to get a diploma cover. Please do not freak out when you get back to your seat and open it and see a piece of paper in there that says, "Congratulations, you'll get a diploma in the mail in a few weeks." It takes time to confer each of the degrees. Actually, the last day of the semester isn't until Saturday the 13th. So faculty will not be expected to put their final grades probably in until Monday. From there, the graduation department needs to confer and confirm that you've met all of the requirements for your degree, and they will then confer your degree in our student system, and then you will be mailed your diploma within 6 to 8 weeks. So students who are graduating in May, who are completing all their requirements by the end of May, you should receive your diploma probably sometime in the middle of July. If you're graduating in this summer, if you still have a couple of classes left to complete this summer, those diplomas will be mailed out after the August session is complete, so you should receive your diploma sometime in October. If you graduated in December of 2022 and you're walking in the ceremony, you should have already received your diploma at this point. And if you haven't, please email the upgraduation@lonestar.edu email address that's listed above. Also, please note that when you filled out your application for graduation, and the address that you put on there is where your diploma will be mailed. So if you go into the system and you change your address on your student account, please know that that will not update where your diploma will be sent. The diploma will be sent to the address that was on your application for graduation. So now to the fun part. So this is a look at the inside of the Berry Center. Students will be entering from over here. This is the big parking lot C. You'll be coming in this door right here. And this room, this lineup room right here, is the student staging area. So you'll come in here, there'll be a whole bunch of really fun and exciting fun faces to keep you all jazzed up. And then there's going to be lines here where you will start lining up and alphabetizing yourselves as we get ready to proceed out into the arena. When it's time, the folks in here will let you know this is where you need to go. So if you're in side A, you're going to come out on this side, but you're going to go all the way around the back and line in here. If you're on side B, you're going to follow this path right here and come out into the arena here. The best piece of advice I can give you is just follow the person in front of you. We will have student marshals that will be leading out the faculty, and then the students, they will know where to go, and the faculty will also know where to go. So all you have to do is follow the person in front of you, and you should not get lost. We will have folks in the arena as well. And what they will do is they will be lined up along side B and side A, and they will give you the cue on when you're going to go up and get your diploma. Side A is going to come out, exit their row to the right, and then come up and cross the stage. you're going to come across the stage, you're going to pause right here. You're going to get your picture taken with Dr. Keshvala holding your diploma, and then you're going to exit the stage, come down here. There's going to be another photo station right over here where you will get your picture taken with your diploma by yourself. You'll then follow the way back down and just make your way back into the exact same seat that you were sitting in before you left. Now, if you're on side B, you have a little bit longer of a walk. On side B, you're actually going to exit to the left. You're going to go all the way around to the back and then up to the front, across the stage the exact same way. You're going to get your picture taken up here, then again on the side, and then you're going to file back into the seat that you left. I know a lot of you are wondering, how will I know if I'm on side A or if I'm on side B? Typically, the way that it has worked in the past is side A is usually the alphabet from A to about M, and side B is from N to Z. Now, depending on how many students we have graduating and how many for each letter, that might adjust a little bit because we like to keep the sides even. But if you're looking at the arena and you're ordering tickets, if you're from A to M, you can pretty much be rest assured that you'll be sitting on this side. So if you want your guests to find seats on this side of the arena, that would be great, and vice versa for side B. When we leave, after the ceremony is you are going to exit out the sides of each row. So side B will go up to the left and side A to the right, just like when you were going up to get your diploma. Side A will go out exactly the way you came back in. Side B, same thing. The only difference is that you guys are going to head straight out the door. You will not stop at this room. This room will already be broken down. So anything that is in here will be gone. It will be removed. That's why we tell you you have to take everything with you and keep everything to a minimum. So you're going to be walked right out to the side. Your family and friends will be exiting out entrance 2. It's a very short walk around the side. You can meet up out front. A lot of people like to take pictures in front of the big tall stairs. And that's where, if you want to get balloons and flowers and presents, that's a great place to get them. So you'll walk right out and you'll come around and meet them outside. As I mentioned earlier, if you have any questions about your application for graduation or any questions about if you've met the requirements for your degree, please contact Leah Stoddard in our advising office. Her email address is here. This will also be, like I said before, this will be posted on the website, this whole PowerPoint and a recording of this session, so you can refer back to it. But if you want to take a picture of this, you can to get her email address. If you have any questions about your graduation status, this is the best person to contact. If you have any questions about the commencement ceremony at all, this is the email to send an email to. up-commencement@lonestar.edu. If you have any questions about any little thing, please send it to this email address. We have folks who are answering those questions, trying to get those questions answered within 24 hours if possible. And that is it. Those are all of that is all of the information that we have. I have a couple of questions that came in. One is, do I receive anything for being on the president's list? I believe that you will get a separate certificate or be named somewhere, but there is no designation on the diploma. I believe it may be designated on the transcript, but you will not get anything in addition to your diploma that day. What is the earliest graduates can arrive? Volunteers are scheduled to be there at 6:30 a.m. So you can get there anytime, probably after 7, so that we can get in there and get set up. But we encourage you not to be there later than 7:30. So if you get there around 6:45, we'll have folks there to check you in as early as we possibly can. I have 2 little ones. Do I need a clear diaper bag? Yes. They will make you carry that in a clear diaper bag. Anything that is coming in that is larger than that size that I shared earlier will need to be clear. For dual credit students, I have a question here about dual credit cords. The dual credit cards have been ordered and they should be arriving at your high school probably early next week. So you will get them from your high school counselor. You can pick them up there. Veterans cords, you can pick those up from our veterans advisor here on campus. Her name is Stephanie Sherman, and she is in the advising office. I believe that they will be having a little recognition for the veterans as well, so keep your eyes out for an email from them. If you're in the choir, where do you go? That's a really good question. So the choir will be performing as part of the ceremony. I will be meeting with the choir, I believe next week, with Dr. Brown to give the choir exactly all of the instructions on where they go and what they need to do. But you will get there. We will, you'll proceed in with the choir, but we'll save a seat for you in the audience. Same will happen. I think Kayla is actually on this call. Kayla Hashdick, who is our SGA president, she will actually be sitting for the first part of the ceremony on the stage, but we will hold a seat for her in the audience so that she can walk to get her degree. Hi, Kayla. Kayla's chatting. We'll save a seat for her so she can walk up and get her diploma with the rest of the class. Will someone send an email after we RSVP? No. If you have RSVP'd, we have you on the list. Some of you we have multiple times on the list. If you've RSVP'd, you are all set. You do not need to do anything else. We have you in the system. If you want to check your RSVP, feel free to contact the UP Commencement email address, but you won't get any further email. If you have received all the emails about RSVPing, then we have you on the list. If your code does not work for tickets, please let us know. Send an email to the UP Commencement email along with your name and your student ID number. And we will do what we can to help you get your tickets. I think there was a question about where to get my cap and gown. You can get that at the bookstore. It is available. Students have in the past also purchased like through Amazon or through another third-party site. It is important that the cap and gown is all black and that it's a flat black, not a shiny satiny black. So just make sure that when you do order, if you're not getting it from the bookstore, that you get the appropriate one. I encourage you to do it through the bookstore because then you don't have to worry about it. Special request for wheelchair access. Where are they seated? Will it be separate from your tickets? Yes. The wheelchair folks will be, there are designated wheelchair access seats, either up in the arena or on the arena floor. So if the person has special access and they have family with them, we can accommodate that as well. Just let us know. Again, UP Commencement at UP-Commencement at lonestar.edu, and you can we can answer those questions that you have specifically. I know there's lots and lots of questions about tickets, so I'll address that really quick. Tickets. The ticketing system opens this morning, as I mentioned before. You need your student ID number and your birth date. There are very specific step-by-step instructions on our website along with the ticketing link. So please look at that. It will give you step-by-step instructions on what you need and how you need to access them. You will then receive, when you download or when you order your tickets, you will actually get a PDF of your tickets. So you don't need to pick them up. You can just print them out or you can keep them on your phone. We encourage you to print them out just because last year the QR reader was down and we had a little bit of an issue. So we encourage you to just print out those tickets and have your guests print them out as well. If you apply but do not attend, do you get a degree? If you meet the requirements for your degree, you will get your diploma. You do not need to walk in commencement to get your diploma, although we encourage you to just because it's a really ceremonious event. And it's a good opportunity for all of us to celebrate your accomplishment. How long will the ceremony last? Last year we were out, the ceremony started at 9 a.m. and we were done before 11 a.m. So it was a little less than 2 hours. This year, I believe we have a few more graduates that are attending, so it might be a little bit longer, but we will definitely be out probably by 11:30 if things go the same way. Do dual credit students sit with everyone else? Yes, dual credit students will be alphabetized with every other college graduate. We will not segment out the dual credit students. So you will be sitting, if your last name is Jones and the next person is Johnson, you'll be sitting next to that person even if they're not a dual credit student. Can we switch tickets after buying? Unfortunately, no. Once you purchase your tickets, those are the tickets you have because they are allocated by a number. So you have a maximum allotment of 8. So once you use your student ID and your birth date to log in and get your tickets, that will allow you the 8 tickets, and that's it. If you have friends who aren't using their tickets, or you have friends who are only using 3 of their tickets, you can work with them to get their extra tickets if you want as well. That's totally okay. Okay, hold on. Other questions? Oh gosh, locked. Okay. Is the ticket site locked? It's not allowing me to reserve tickets. It shouldn't be, but I will double check on that first thing tomorrow morning. I did confirm with the Berry Center this morning that it was up and running and that people were already in there reserving their tickets. So it should be all set to go. If you have problems, please, again, email us at UP Commencement. As I mentioned earlier, I have a question about additional tickets. You have a maximum of 8. If you need 2 or 3 more, please email us at the UP-Commencement email address, and we can accommodate to a point. We're not sure at this point if we can, how many extra tickets we can get, but 2 or 3 might not, or will probably not be a problem. If you need, 5, 6, 10 more, I don't know that we'll be able to accommodate all of those. That might be at the point where you need to have them live stream. But we will do our very best to accommodate extra requests for additional tickets. Graduates do not need tickets. You will be entering, you are free to get in the door. As long as you have your cap and gown, you can come on in. You do not need tickets. So don't count yourself in that maximum of 8. What time do we need to arrive? Does anybody want to answer that on the chat? Anybody? What time? I'm quizzing you guys. Yay, thank you, Joyce. Thank you, Trevor. Oh, look at you guys are all listening. No later than 7:30. That means don't get there starting at 7:30, get there before 7:30. And yes, thank you, Chelsea. You can get there as early as 6:30 a.m. I can't promise that we'll be all set up at 6:30, but if you want to get there and hang out, that is totally up to you. You can see us all like haggard and still drinking our coffee, getting ready. I have a question. Can I get a cord for President's List? Unfortunately, we do not have cords available for President's List. But if you have a cord that you would like to wear to honor that achievement, you can definitely do that. But we don't have a designated President's Cord list, unfortunately. Any other questions?
Questions that we did. I know you said right our names, technically, but my name's so pronounce it wrong for some reason. How should I write it?
That's a really good question, actually. If you are not sure how to write your name out phonetically, when you check in that morning, talk to the staff there and we'll work with you on how to write out your name so that it can be pronounced correctly. So we can help you with that the morning of the ceremony when you check in.
Invalid code entered error?
Yeah, I'm gonna double check. I'll double check the ticketing system first thing in the morning. And we'll make sure that that's up and running. If you continue to experience problems with the ticketing system, please let us know. Just email us and we'll go ahead and make sure that's fixed. I think I saw a question about honors cords.
How do you know if you are eligible?
So honors cords are for students. The PTK, Phi Theta Kappa, gives out honor cords for their students. Veteran students get cords as well. Dual credit students get cords, and these are all provided by the organization. National Society of Student of Success and Leadership gets cords. Anyone in the Honors College, they have a variety of different cords that you can get. Those are all provided by the organization that you're a part of. Those are the honor societies that we recognize. I do believe that there are some SGA cords for officers. I know the president also gets a medallion to wear. And I think that's it. Am I forgetting anyone? I'm not sure if TRIO and SSI students get cords, but if you are a TRIO or an SSI student, please check with your, please check either with Regina Oliver for the SSI or Leslie M. Machado for the TRIO program, and they can let you know if you are eligible for cords with those organizations.
It says, what if we were in dual credit here in high school, but we already graduated high school?
No, the dual credit cords are specifically for students who are still in high school, who are graduating with an associate's degree and a high school diploma. So the pathway stoles are only to be worn at the high school graduation. They are not worn at the college graduation. So for any dual credit students who are on this call planning to attend, with the college graduation, you don't wear your National Honor Society stole, you don't wear your cords that you're getting for high school, you only wear your cords and your stoles that you're getting through the college, because you're graduating from college that day. You'll be able to wear your pathway stole or your Honor Society stole at your high school graduation. And those pathway stoles are actually available through your high school, not through the college, because those are through CTE. Other questions? How many stoles can we wear? I have 3, but I'm not sure which to pick. Just pick whichever one you like the most.
Like it for graduation, but we were granted permission to walk. It's not being in the program, but I'm having trouble getting to.
Okay. I'm gonna, like I said, I know I've heard a couple of times that there are some issues with the ticketing system right now. It could be too that all of you are in there right now trying to get tickets at the same time, and that might be why. It might be that, you know, for example, Clavelia is sitting across from me. Clavelia is trying to book the same tickets that Arcelia is trying to purchase at the same time, just like if you were trying to get Taylor Swift tickets for the concert last weekend. If you're trying to book them at the same time, that might be why you're getting the error. But you can try it again later tonight and answer tomorrow. There are going to be plenty of seats, like I said. We can probably accommodate for additional tickets, so I don't think we'll sell out the place by Friday. So you should be good to get tickets for your family together.
Will we have an option of safety?
Not on site. Purchasing photos will be an option for you after the ceremony. You will get that's what this card is for that we're going to give you that day. Flash Photography will take this card and they will email you a proof and a link on how to purchase your photos from graduation that way. You'll get that probably about 3 to 4 weeks after graduation.
Happily, I qualified for student loan star medical.
Just have any questions specifically about a stole that you're looking for? Please email the UP Commencement email address and we'll look into it for you. Make sure we have your name and your student ID number and we can look into all of that for you. You guys have really good questions, excellent questions, and we're still early. It's only 6:50, so you guys got 10 minutes back in your life. Congratulations. But like I mentioned, this presentation will also be available online probably by the end of this week, as well as the PowerPoint will be available with all of the information as well. If you have any questions whatsoever, up-commencement@lonestar.edu. Email us with any question. Just make sure that when you do send us an email that we get that we have your full name as well as your student ID number so that we can look up your information and get back to us as best we can. Okay.
When getting tickets, what does it mean by location? Do we need to choose a specific location or is it?
That is a question that I cannot answer because I'm not sure I know what that means. When you go into the Berry Center, I know you can click Lone Star College University Park. And there is a direct link on our website right now so that you guys can get in there. So I'm not sure what that location means. If you have a screenshot of that and need help with it, go ahead and email it to us and we'll look into it and get back to you. Many, many, many thanks for taking the time to come out here. Congratulations to you all. We're so proud of you. This is, I know for all of us in this room, this is our favorite time of year because we get to see all of your hard work pay off and celebrate your accomplishment and set you free to do all that you are meant to do. So we're very happy. We're very proud of all of you. And we really appreciate all that you've done here at Lone Star University Park, and we want to celebrate you. So congratulations. We'll go ahead and leave the chat open for a couple more minutes. So if you have any additional questions, go ahead and send them through the chat and we'll try and answer them as best we can for the next 10 or so minutes. But if you have any other questions, just go ahead and put it in the chat. Thank you all. Have a great day. Okay, so I just got clarification, I think, on the location thing for the tickets, because we have little minions behind the scenes working. So it shows by location that it's the search for seats and by location. It looks like the different sections that you can choose from in the arena. So if you're looking at the arena, the stage, side A will be on the right and side B will be on the left. So then you can look at the sections. If you're going to probably be on side A, you're going to want to probably reserve seats on that side of the arena. And if you're on side B, on the other side. Hope that helps answer your question. But if it doesn't, just let us know. Thanks, guys.